Right, so now in the gumming stage, we are going to fold the sleeve first. So this sleeve must be folded in this form. Fold it all through that way. So you will use a hemming gum to arrange the rest, or you can still stitch it and leave it that way. However, it's still very much okay. So fold the sleeve all through that way. Fold it twice and then fold the next one. But make sure that it doesn't exceed the point which you have extended for your folding, right? Then do the same thing on the other sleeve as well. Then apply hemming gum, one strand or two strands for the first folding, do the other one as well. Do the same thing on the second sleeve, and your sleeve folding is done. So let's get to the next stage. So this is the process of the folding of the second sleeve. The same process you did on the first one. You fold it all through this way. Now the reason I am showing these things is for you to see and believe, and then know that there's no hidden processes behind the camera. So once you have done the folding, you iron it out as well. Make sure as well you get the center line, which will be useful when we are doing our joining processes. Alright, so now the back facing, we are going to also fold as well. Now note that the back facing does not need to be gummed because it's a shirt. So you don't need to gum it. Even in most of my senators making, I don't gum the neckline anymore. I only gum the front necklines. I don't gum the back anymore. So you also iron out the back facing this way. Make sure you have added hemming gum underneath the folding. So iron out this way. Make sure you get the center folding as well. So for the back panel, you just need to iron it out if you want. Then the front panel is where we are going to start working on now. And I know this is where most of us will be looking out for to know what they are doing. So you are going to fold this to meet the point where you notched. The edge will go to the center of the notching point, right? That you're trying to fold it into two equal parts now. Fold all through this way. Make sure it's being folded to that very point. And then after that, you now place your hemming gum in this form. Place your hemming gum in this form. Drop water on it. This water will help it to stick faster and stick more firmly. Fold all through this way. Then drop hemming gum again, like two strands or one. However, drop water on it as well. And then you fold it again. Make sure the folding does not exceed where you notched. Please, very important. It shouldn't exceed where you notched. And also make sure it doesn't come out. So once you are done with the arrangement for that, then you fold it all through that way. Then you iron. Then fold here again. You iron. Fold all through to the very end. You iron. So this gives you the exact of 1 inch button allowance of your shirt folding, right? So it's easier this way and faster this way when you are drafting. So do the same thing on this part on the other panel of the shirt as well. So once you're done with that, we are now going to do the next thing, which is the stitching aspect. So make sure you cross check the front panel and see that it corresponds very well. Then iron out any area that is not straight enough, and also iron from the front to smoothen and flatten any edge that is not proper, right? So after this now, the next to do is to get your other panel and do the same process again. So do the same thing on the other bottom as well. Fold from the notch point to get the center line to make sure it's properly relaxed or balanced. Then once you have gotten the folding, open it and fold again, put hemming gum, and you are good to go. Alright guys, so now we're going the trouser. So you gum slanted line from that position where you have your notching for the pockets. So you gum that area, and then you make sure you gum it very well, gum it very well. So once you have gotten to this stage, gum it all through very well. Then turn it back the other way around and also gum the other side of the pocket. So if make sure that the gumming is positioned at the notch area of the trouser parts and make it not to exceed 1 inch or 1/4 inch from the depth of the pocket notching. Then after which you cut off the excesses from there. Then you also we notch that area, we notch this area as well, cut off the excesses of the gum, and then you fold. The folding must be in line from the notching. So you fold from that direction, iron out also this way, and then after which the next to do is to also fold the one underneath. Make sure that the foldings must come from the notches, right? So you fold in this form, you iron. After you must have ironed all through this way. Now the next thing you are going to do now is to gum the zip flap. Bear in mind that the band will only be gummed for the front panel, so which I will show you as well. The measurements are used in the band drafting. The pocket facing, which is the normal way we cut a pocket facing, and then the zip flap is what we are going to gum now. So you get your light gum stem and then place it this way, and then we trim or cut the size there. Now the size of that zip flap is 3.5 inches by the length of 12 or 11 and a half. So once you have gotten to that stage, you place it in this form and gum it at once, making sure that the whole area is properly covered. Gum it at once, and after that, you trim as well. I will gum and figure the results. So after that, you trim all the excesses and then you gum, which I have done. So look at the finishing I have here. So I'll show you guys when we start our sewing. So for the front band, now the measurement I cut here was 4 inches, but the width of the waist circumference plus extra 1 inch or 2 inches thereabout for the joinings. So now you place the slot gum, the gum step at the middle that way. Now you must know that you should gum more than the midpoint or exact of the midpoint. Then gum all through that way. So once you have gotten to this stage, the next thing is to start threading. So gum all through that way, gum all through that way, gum all through that way, gum all through this way. The gumming must exceed half of the band measurement. Remember I told you guys that the band width I cut was 4 inches. You can cut it at 4.5, 4 inches depending. Then the length will be your waist circumference of extra 2 inches or 3 inches depending. So once you have gotten that stage, you now trim off the excesses, cut off the midpoints in order to separate it from the first one. I'll also show you guys how to fold. On the folding, follow the same pattern of folding. Fold half an inch first, this way. Fold half an inch first, this way. Fold it all through that way. Use the cold iron to cool in order to retain the hotness of the iron. That is the effect of the cold iron. So you could use any stuff available to serve as the cold iron. It mustn't be iron proper. You can use a wood, whatever you have that can give you the same result. The measure of fold it to be 1.2 for the band width finishing 1.2 or 1.3 maximum. So it cannot exceed 1.5. So fold all through that way. Then do the same thing on the other sleeve, and then on the other band as well, not sleeve, on the other band, and then you are good to go. So once you get to this stage, this is what you'll be seeing or you'll be having. Then gum the next, fold up, fold the underneath one to come up a bit, fold it to come up in this form. So once it goes to this form, you also pull it with a cooler or a cold iron. And this is what you will see or you will have. Then when you raise it up and put it underneath, there will be a little gap. The one under will be wider, so that when you thread up one, it can catch the material or the fabric under. So you pull it off this way, and then this is the band. You see how the band looks like. The components are all prepared. Make sure you assemble them in this form. So fold the last one as well in that direction, and then you also make sure pull it off, then fold the same procedure 1.1, 1.2, and make sure as well you measure with your tape, and your hands must be straight enough when folding this. So after this now, the next we are going to see will be the lining cuttings, the pocketings, and then subsequently the stitching of the trousers and also the shirt, which I've shown you. Bear in mind that the shirt drafting was made to be a big shirt. That was why it has a 3/4 sleeve length. But on a normal, the shirt length should be short sleeve or a long sleeve. So optional, you can decide to give the customer a 3/4 sleeve. So see you guys in the sewing tutorial of this video. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Tell me how impactful this video is to you.